We are here on another Wednesday, and it is the first live of the year for 2026. We'll talk a little bit about the plans for 2026 and review a little bit of 2025, or at least that's what we're doing so far, or what I'm doing with the posts. So I didn't want to do anything drastically different for the first couple of trivia posts, but the idea was to incorporate some questions that reviewed itineraries from throughout last year. And the first one of those was today. So I just referenced the oldest dinosaur track um, track site that's in Colorado, and the general theme is just design. I didn't come up with anything too specific. I didn't do resolutions or anything like that because I talked about resolutions last year pretty intently. But I think generally design is a general principle that applies to planning a proper New Year's resolution anyway. So if you have a New Year's resolution, design is something that might come into play. And maybe what you're designing is new habits or a goal or something like that. So for today, I honestly don't have anything too specific in mind. All I know is that I have, of course, the itineraries that are supposed to be redesigned, and we'll go and see which one that is. But pretty much the year is going to work the same way. I'll just have a different general theme for the year. I have already determined what it is. I'll release it when I release the new schedule. And instead of focusing on certain themes and countries or cultures or groups like I did last year, I'll be focusing on individuals. And I'm gearing up for what I mentioned last week, being more videos, shorter videos, more frequent videos that talk about the itineraries that I'm working on, because I should be able to build out everything more ahead of time and have things a bit more thought out, but also be able to discuss a little bit more along the way. So I'm excited about that. And that means I should be posting more on YouTube, not just Wednesday posts, but hopefully, you know, posts like images and reels, more reels for Instagrams and reels for YouTube is the goal. So, yeah. Apparently, right now, I am planning on continuing the Wednesday lives. I'm hoping that Wednesday lives can include, you know, guests or something like that. So, with that, I'll probably need to make these a little bit more structured, but I liked the structure of doing a quiz, reading a little bit, doing the itinerary, and then that's pretty much the way things go. So if anyone were to be invited on the lives for Wednesday, it would probably involve a book that they themselves wrote or a book that they like that somehow relates to the theme of the individual for the week. So this year, I'm imagining that I probably, I don't want to put myself into any bubbles, but I'm not planning, I don't have anyone set to be a part of the lives, but solidifying things more so, hopefully in the future, next year. I can get people invited on, being that this year I'll be focusing on people and kind of set that norm in a way. It's quite a bit to do. but every week will be dedicated to a person. And then the books will loosely be surrounded around that individual's accomplishments or interests and things like that. So, yeah. And that's kind of a reflection of some of the channeling that I did this past year, but keeping things more consistent because I didn't have someone to channel every week. So last year was a little bit more experimental. This year will be different, but should be slightly more consistent and also lay the foundation for adding on more things, but just a little by little. So that's kind of a little bit of an introduction. I do have more decisions made that I'm mentioning here right now, but next week we'll probably talk a little bit more about it and then share on the 15th. Yeah. So next week will be the day before I actually post the 2026 schedule. Yeah. So let's go ahead and look at the itinerary that we're redesigning for this week. Here are the options, right? I'll let it scroll through a couple of times. Oh, there's so many things to do. But it's good. It's good. It's good. I should have a better schedule. I kind of want to do the librarianist today. I think I'll just redesign that one and then work on the other ones. I need to make more things, quite a few more things. But I know what the redesign is going to look like. I'll be changing the design of things just to reflect 2026 a little bit more. Waiting for Chinese New Year to go by, just so it's the new year for everyone. And so I'll probably mention the Chinese zodiac sign or the Chinese zodiac for the year and how I incorporate that into the itinerary designs and the trivia designs for 2026. I'm deciding if I'm going to just remove everything from 2025 and start the year anew. I think I will. I think I will. I think we'll start with a clean slate and go from there. The signature design will probably be the same. I'll just change the year at the top, but I'll keep that the same. The trivia situation will be essentially the same, with a very minor change. And the takeaways. The thing is, I kind of want to give it a new name. The Creation Workshop takeaways. I might give them a new name. Just like 2026 ish but also just a better name. Other than that, these will probably stay the same. So this year, I'm using the gridded paper. I want to use a different type of paper this year. So this year, I'm thinking about changing the gridded paper to dotted paper, but otherwise doing the same kind of a concept with this. I don't anticipate changing the colors every week anymore. Again, I think it was a really good aspect of 2025, but it's not really very Pages Dale. It's more kind of just introducing everyone to the concept of this business is meant to incorporate the spectra of all different subjects and themes and stuff like that. So it is inclusive. I wanted 2025 to really hone in on the fact that this is an inclusive business visually. Okay. Next year, it's going to also be reflected, but more so in the people from different places, different backgrounds, different professions. Um, yeah. And I have to think about that very intently to try to cover all the countries and all the different things. So that's that. And next year after that, we'll see what happens. Uh, yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to mention without saying too much. Great. And we decided that we're going to do this. Things really do become fossilized very quickly because I'm thinking, man, I should update the template. And my very next thought is absolutely not. The template is the template. This is the template, but what I should do is probably follow the template more so. Because there was a good amount of time put in. And I'd still like for it to accommodate workshops and stuff like that. So if at some point in time people decide that they want to make their own itinerary during the live, then, you know, this is kind of what would facilitate that. All right. I have to decide if I want to include these things. Won't be included. They're not included in for sale. The ideal traveler, the locations, activities, time of year, learning opportunities, and prices. Yeah. All of that information is, of course, on the other itineraries. I'm going to keep that there because, Yeah, they're things to keep in mind. Eventually, perhaps I'll come up with a more robust design. But 2026, I'm just looking to highlight Chinese zodiac and be a little bit more descriptive on what everything here means and is. Yeah. So, the librarianist, filming spots from the librarian's show. Yeah. So, we're going to do this the same way we did last week. Copy, go over here. Another thing that I have is the need to organize the files on the computer. It won't take long, but I have to pretty much make a 2025 folder, do like a transition folder, and then have the 2026. Yeah. It sounds like a lot, but it should make things easier for having stuff on YouTube. So we also have the podcast. I really like the podcast, by the way. The Book by the Cover podcast and the Book by the Cover blog. I like doing those when I'm on tour. Only when I'm on tour. Yeah. I could do those. I keep them like they are. I keep them as they are. I get back to them when I go back to traveling and going to different libraries and stuff like that, which is really fun. But what I do in between that for regular reels will be something else. Is it too much? So maybe the podcasts are what I'll make into reels. And I'll call them something different. No. Okay. Got it. Anyway. I have to do a little bit more thinking about it, but changing the podcasts into reels would be good. And It feels like so much. You see, because the business, it's intended to help me incorporate learning even with the business. Like, so there are many things that this has already helped me learn as I'm going through and doing the itineraries, and that will remain. And there's some other things that I want to mix in to make sure that I'm doing those things as well. And honestly, doing these things to hopefully find people that would be interested in uh, professionally doing these things with Page's Tale at some point. But having the different roles, having the different types of writing, and things like that. I'm a little apprehensive to talk about what I'm thinking about right now. But essentially, this year is the year of the horse. It's the year of the horse for 2026. So I'm going to incorporate an internationally recognized symbol, the horseshoe, into the design. It'll be subtle, but it'll be consistently throughout. That'll be the 2026, I don't know, moniker. And it kind of goes along with the theme, but it doesn't. So, but it doesn't have to. Moniker. What's going on? Okay. Moniker. Yeah, this is what we want. Can't a moniker also be like some other type of descriptive aspect? Hmm. No. An informal label, often drawing attention to a particular attribute. Yeah, I think roughly yes, but no. Anyway, there's a lot of aspects to it, but it's not so complicated. 2026 theme, 2026 visual, and a different sort of central topic, central guiding topic, whatnot. People. All right. So we're talking about the year of the horse. We're talking about people. We're talking about horseshoe. And then I've been wanting to start doing footnotes. Okay. On YouTube, pictures. I would like to be able to take pictures. I don't want to do pictures on Instagram. At least not yet. I'm not going to do pictures on Instagram yet because I like the system the way that it is. I'll put pictures on YouTube. And experiment a little on YouTube before deciding how and or if I'll incorporate pictures on Instagram. Yeah. But the footnotes would go along with music. So I would do a footnote photo, and then I would do other footnotes where I just do a quick little song about where I've been, what I'm doing, what I'm studying. And that way I can do a footnote whether I'm traveling or I'm stationary. And I can work on writing my music. Without needing to do full-blown songs and things like that. It should be fun. And then, of course, they would stay indefinitely with the posts and page sale footnotes. And footnote photo. So, yeah. Those will be for YouTube. I'm really not sure about the Book by the Cover podcast. I think those can just be done at random. When I find one that I'm really interested in. Like this is a pretty big decision right here. The footnotes are definitely going to happen because I need something that I can do consistently that is the same thing whether I'm traveling or not. It's difficult to come up with interesting blog posts and podcasts when I'm not traveling. It's not the same. It doesn't get the same vibe. And that could encourage me to maybe talk to people while I'm traveling. But the thing about the podcasts is that they're supposed to just be very casual, conversational discussion of the cover of a book and like what people can do. And I really like that. So that might be an area of being able to engage with people. They don't have to show their face, they don't have to say who they are. I could just include their voice. Again, probably best for traveling. The footnotes shouldn't take long at all. A footnote is pretty much just I come up with a few notes on a guitar or on a piano. I sing about something because I won't put the trivia on YouTube. Even though I like design across platforms, I'm not a huge fan of the same content across platforms. I'm trying to think of profiles that I follow where I follow on different platforms. Is the redundancy good? Is the redundancy comforting? Is the redundancy is it just better for branding? So I'm torn. I think it's going to be better for branding to have the same content. If there's the same design, the same content. The question is, should I add trivia? Should I post the trivia on YouTube as well? Now, the real question with that, the real answer with that is, can I post it the same way on YouTube? Hold on. How many images can you post on a YouTube post at a time? On YouTube at a time. At once. A recent increase. Lovely. Okay. So, yeah, that means I can do the same thing. that means I can do the same thing on Instagram and YouTube for advertising purposes, because the trivia is where I do the majority of the advertising. Oh, and I should post the takeaways on YouTube as well. Yeah. Yes. That's a change, but it's good. That is a lot of content. That is a lot. That is a lot. But it's not a lot of effort. It's not. It's not that much effort. It's really not. The question is the footnote situation. The footnotes are reels, though. And the reels are what really attract traffic, right? So I have to get good reels. And I think I'm confident that the podcasts, clips from the podcasts and footnotes would really help with that. I guess I can do the footnotes a little bit different every time. I don't know. The footnote video would include the picture, and then I could end up sharing the pictures sometimes, maybe temporarily. I post a picture on YouTube. I don't know. I think it would be good to be on YouTube. Pictures are common on YouTube. Pictures, I mean, of course, are common on Instagram as well. But when I'm on Instagram, I really think Instagram it has more of a professional feel. Like the pictures, if you look at a picture on Instagram, now it's to the point where personal photos kind of look out of place. Not really. I mean, there's a mix. There's a really heavy mix, though. I still think YouTube seems to have a bit more of a personal feel than Instagram. I don't know. I have to decide what I'm going to do with the pictures, because I don't think I'm going to do pictures yet on Instagram. I don't know why. I don't want to change too much of it. I might be able to do pictures maybe just as a story. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so on Instagram, the footnote photo would be a story. But on YouTube, it would be its own post. I would post the same footnote reels, right, on Instagram and YouTube. I could also do TikTok, but I don't think I'm going to do TikTok this year. It's too much. That would be too much. I can just add doing the daily trivia post on 2 platforms. That's a lot, though. It's a big change. It's not a huge change, though. It's relatively small. I just have to post twice. But that'll definitely be worth it. I can churn them out pretty quickly. And then I can focus on the footnote situation. Yeah, I think that's good. Because the footnotes can be really short. It's like what length of reel, how long are the most successful reels? I hope they don't give me something about fishing. Most successful Instagram reels are short and punchy with the sweet spot for viral engagement, often being 7 to 15 seconds. Though 15 to 30 seconds is excellent for general engagement, longer videos work well for educational or storytelling content if they maintain high viewer retention with strong hooks, but shorter lengths generally yield higher completion rates and shares. Cool. I can do that. 7 to 15 seconds. Great. As long as it's at least 15 or 7 seconds, we're good. As long as it's at least 7 seconds. I can do that. The idea is that I make a footnote daily and I share the ones that I like. That's the idea there. I do them daily, but I only share them if they turn out well. And I do like one take. I'm not going out here trying to make a perfect footnote every day. I do my daily posts like I already have them. I work on getting the shorter reels by just doing them every day and then choosing the ones, posting the ones that turn out well. And I consistently keep those circling on the different platforms. I think that's good. 7-second video of me playing an instrument, reviewing what I'm researching, and then that's it. If it turns out well, I post it. I think that's good. And then every footnote has to have a corresponding picture. I already have a bunch of footnote pictures. They're not pictures of my face. And some of these footnote videos might include my face, but I think most of them will not. Apparently, I should include my face on the footnote videos. Uh, yeah. Yeah. Either way, we'll figure out which ones turn out better when I start doing them every day. So this is what I mean for a footnote picture. I'll pretty much take a picture of my feet, whatever I'm doing. Some days I might be out and about like this. Other days it might just be me in my slippers, socks, bare feet. If I take relatively good care of my feet. I could do better. Take pictures of my feet. Probably not, because some people really don't like feet. But yeah, footnote picture, probably a little piece of the lyric, or maybe a quote from the book. I don't know. I might mix it up a little bit. Something. I thought I had more pictures. Oh yeah, here's another one. Same shoes, different location, and I have a little water bottle there. Here I am in the car, not my favorite one of them, but generally, along with the image, I'll put like some type of text or something like that. Maybe the logo. We'll figure it out. So yeah, footnote, footnote. So that's what I'm taking time to think about, being that I have genuinely gotten through an entire year of doing these. And I mean an entire scheduled year. And it really wasn't that much work. The post that I made, it really wasn't. The trouble of it is the other things that I've been working on, the larger projects. Designing more itineraries, full-blown itineraries. I need to do more of those. But I think managing social media was probably the top priority. And I have plenty of examples. And I have, yeah. So once this is in motion and is in its routine, then it should be easier to more purposely, meaningfully, and in a client-led way do these other things. Because I didn't want to get too attached to a product that no one's bought yet. So, yeah. But I think I'm in a pretty good place to just have a larger collection of itineraries. Is my website still up? Because I lost access to it when I lost phone. Yeah. I want to talk about the 1 hour of paid training. If there's anyone out here not offering 1 hour of paid training or offering some different type of training, then that's not me. So I have 1 hour of paid training as a way to get people acclimated with the position because at this point in time, the way that it's set up is it's commission. So if there are any questions or anything like that, the commission goes along with and provides the payment. And the 1 hour of paid training is pretty much just you're not able to do the job yet. So there's that hour. But essentially, from there, it's a commission based position. If anyone else is offering a position with more training, then it's not me, or it's the future me once I get the funding to be able to actually offer a more robust training situation, in case anybody's wondering about that. So, if I could, I would change this, but I don't have access to the website right now. All right, so pretty much we have to go ahead and do this really quick redesign. It doesn't take long. The main thing now is just reflecting on last year and figuring out what to do. This is already here for us to. Yeah, I understand 1 hour, but the commission would be related to the specifics of the design situation. So a lot of this at this point is figuring out what different people have to offer the position to then discuss in more detail what commission even looks like. But yeah. Because there might be some people who are interested in designing, like let's see if we can come back here. So the Instagram management, a workshop, flex due days, flexible schedule. I really just want to be able to figure out what designers imagine the position being like ideally for them. But I haven't heard from anyone, so apparently I just have to put more thought into it. But I could see how 1 hour of paid training could be concerning, but I mean, commission starts right away. So I guess it depends on the person, kind of how they feel about the situation. Yeah. Because it would include finding your leads. along with myself putting together all these things. This one is ready. So we could change filming spots from the librarian's show, watch the show, see if you can match up borrowed bits from the scenery and match them with the correct episode time frame. I'm just going to say visit a library. I need for this week to not be, this week and next week to not be too heavy on the thinking it out, because there's a lot to think, there's a lot to think about right now. Lovely. Great. Visit a library. I could say watch the show and visit a library. I don't want to discourage watching the show. All right, very cool. That's it for that. And so until I get to this tab and close this, I'll wait to say this. Until next reach out, keep it loud.